I can start.
Yeah.
And just a very short presentation. My name is Alessandro Tomasi. I've been working in IWS before TWS for many years in my role as a test and performance lead. And Ernesto summarized the topic that I try to show you because very, very huge to show. I can try. Let me start to share. I have only one slide that is the same that Ernesto showed you before. So I can start with the new orchestration monitor or this. That is the new way to navigate in the plan before we have this way. That is a different way to show the different part jobs in workstation. Now we have the simple way to choose the engine and the different objects that we search in the plan, like job stream, job workstation, or resources. Our Ernesto say before, we introduced the new OQL system to do the very complex query, because when we, for example, wanted to check in this query, we have advanced query, but we can choose not more. We can choose a status or internal status, something in the dependencies, but not more. But with the OQL, that's how we can see in our documentation, that is our orchestration query language, we can use through the new REST API v2. Also with the new OCLI, I can try to show also this in this presentation. We can combine every kind of operator, like a language to program, and we have a lot of part of this to choose what we have to check. For example, I have created some of these. For example, I can check about the time, or if we have some job with a different priority in the job stream, so I can go in the job section. And in this way, I can check that in this filter, I have one job that have 0 priority. Probably I have to increase this to run. So in this way, we can run also composite like a list and put the different operator like and or, so we can create a very useful query for our daily job, because in my case, probably not like you, but I have to check something that in my schedule is wrong, or I have to check in a different way that it's not easy with the old way to run the query, because I have only to order by probably schedule time, name. In other way, I can do very, very different query. I try to show also the operator message. That I submit some job before. For example, I created this. Probably it's better from the job stream. This. Okay, I created this so I can navigate in the jobs. And in the new more actions, I can show the operator instruction. For example, we have a very long procedure, and for example, we have 10 or 15 jobs. One of these could be going in error. I can write a very simple procedure with I can add like a word or a PowerPoint icon and other things like this. So the operator can follow the steps to solve the issue. I think it's a very good improvement because if I remember good before this about one line, no more. In this way, I can write a text. For example, you can also use jobs, add. There is also a bold color. It's very useful for the operator for every day. And a new feature that I show that it's about the automation panel that Ernesto speak before, because it's a very fast to see. In this way, for example, when a user have no privilege to do something, the administrator can change this. These are all my engine connections, so I can manage a change. In the previous, it's not possible. Another feature that I think that could be good, it's private label settings. That it's like this. You can customize your DWC in this way. Okay, yes. After this, I don't know if I can show the part of CyberArk. Oh, no, okay. We are speaking about the OQL. We introduce also the OCLI. That's a new command line, like a composer command, but they're very helpful. That it's you can download from a zip and install whenever you want. After that you install, you have to generate a API key from the DWC, and tell me if the size is correct after you have to increase, because I don't know if it's too small.
Increase, please.
Okay.
Thank
I
you.
know. I know. Appearance change. Tell me if 14 is okay. Better? Or 18?
Yes.
Okay. After that, you download for the first time this new command line. We create this file, and you have to create an API key from the DWC. That it's a JWT token. You can create from here. You have to choose the engine. Okay. MTM2, this. This is all the API that I created. You can create new. You have to copy this.
Alessandro,
Yes.
there is one question from
Nigel from YBS again. Hi. Just about the OCLI. How
Yes.
do I download? Does it not get downloaded with the product? Can it, as in just a standard binary I can use, or do you have to actually separately download it from somewhere?
No. It's when you install the master and the agent, it's in the package in the bin folder. I can show you. After that, you install the product. You have to set only the JWT token in this way. Put the connection with the port of the master and the address. This is the composer port. You have to set false in the.
You can download it from IBM Fix Central.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's what I've done on my laptop.
But what I'm getting at, how do I access as well? Obviously, we're talking about that. I'm trying to think. If I type, when I go on a command line interface, yeah, I type command, yeah, boom, get my command line, composer command. If I put OCLI in, will that also then just bring up the OCLI command line, or do I have to do some sort of installation and customization? To
No,
get it
you just put it into a subdirectory that is in your
It's
in your
the
path.
output. It's the same of composer.
Then you configure the file.
Yes, you
with
have
the
to.
data.
Mhm.
Oh, sorry, you have to configure a file. You have to do some form of configuration.
Yes, but you can set up multiple connections. So if
Correct.
you've got dev, test, pre-prod, prod, you can set up JWT tokens on all 4 or 5 of those, and access them from your laptop. And you've got a context switch to say which master do you want to talk to.
Okay, so OCLI is like an extension of the command line interface we currently have now.
Yes.
That's what we're saying now, are we not? Yeah.
It's replacing command and composer.
Yes.
Yes, I installed, for example, my laptop. I can use this without install any agent. Otherwise, if you install the agent or the master, you have automatically in the product. It's here in the bin folder. And the only difference between composer and command, you have to specify what you would see. If the plan or the model, so it's command or composer. For example, I create a similar query that we used before with the OQL. So in this way, I can use also the power of the V2 in the OCLI on all the QL, so orchestration monitor, and everywhere. I can use this query. Very powerful. And also there is a good way to show the object that could be in the SCADA language, that is, let me say, composer or common way, but you can also show in JSON or YAML visualization. So if you have to do manipulate this file in some tool, you can use this new format that it's JSON YAML, or the old is that's named as without netting. I think it's the SCADlang. It's the default way that you are usually see the. For example, this is the final with the plan. So with the two, you can use this very powerful combination of query. After this, I can show the part of CyberArk. That you know, CyberArk is leading of privileged access management (PAM) solution that helps the organization source to manage and monitor privileged accounts and credentials across the infrastructure, because many customers asked to us to try to avoid and not use and share the password. So when you create a new definition of a job, sorry, I use the old, this, you can create a job, for example, executable, and now you can choose also the pool and dynamic pool, because before it's not possible to use the pool. So you can this, and from here you can choose the vault. In this way, you can take automatically from the settings from here. Let me show you this. I have to increase. Now the part of the vault, in this case CyberArk or other similar provider that I search here, that could be this, Okta, Oracle, or Kerberos. Only of this provider is okay for us. Before I checked the plugin, because I try to see the sides about the plugin. Now there is a folder that is named integrations, and in this vault profile we have the file configuration that point a configuration in of a CyberArk or Kerberos, so what you prefer to use. And here you have to put three things: the certificate of the original server, in this case CyberArk, the address, the port, and this way the CyberArk is configured. And let me show that I create a dedicated job stream to submit this or this in the job stream. We have this. I can modify and show you. This is a job that is running on CyberArk with the vault password. I can show also that it's, for example, a remote command. That when you put the server, he can discover the local password that you use for the remote user. If I submit this that running on a pool, the job stream running wherever you want, you have no no password, only to set the vault. That it's automatically discovered in this way. That is a take from this file, from the default. If you don't put anything, you take the default. So if I go in the orchestration monitor, demo, this run a simple LS in a remote machine with no specification, no, only the kind of workstation, and there is no password inside. So in this way, you can use everything command for every pool. There is no problem to share this password. And after, I can show you about the new job stream plugin that it's named Nesting, that can manage a very different workload without external dependencies or similar. Let me this.
Okay.
Alessandro,
Yes,
Hold on for 1 second.
sure.
Go back to the CyberArk piece.
Okay.
Who here is using CyberArk? Because I know you guys are.
Yeah.
You're using CyberArk. Okay. And there may well be some other people online using it as well. Or equivalent Kerberos
Yes.
security. Is this of interest? Is this something that you can see being implemented?
Possibly. The bit I don't get is, does this every time you run this job, if it's selected to Vault, does it go and pull the password from the Vault?
Yeah, that's the same question I've got as well. Yeah, because if you statically put a password into any job within 3-4 weeks, it's going to be out of date.
Yeah.
So does it actually interactively run with CyberArk, receive the latest password, and put it and deploy it into that job?
Okay, that's a good question.
You were able to hear the question?
I have to ask because I'm not so about the CyberArk, how it works, but I know that you can set a different profile here. And from here, you can choose the profile to use. And I know that every time you go to the CyberArk to authenticate, and if the authentication is okay, the job's go in success. That's what I know.
So it does authenticate each time the job is run.
Yes.
Okay. Does that answer your question?
Because also we did some performance test to try and understand if there is some delay to resolution. In our case, there are no delay. It's okay.
If you would like to have more information, send me an email and the question.
So yeah, I guess my next follow-up question to that is, we have hundreds, thousands of jobs running a day. Wouldn't that really impact CyberArk if you go in every time? I don't know. Yeah.
Possibly. I mean, have there been any performance benchmarks done using CyberArk?
Yes, we started 1 month ago to test the performance, and I have to count about the jobs that we are running because we are monitoring. We see that there is no delay about we run 10 jobs in 10 jobs with every 1 minute for 10 minutes. And we have not seen delay for now. We have to increase and move from different ways to understand if there is some delay. For now, no.
Consider request how many jobs?
I think 10 jobs is not really a meaningful.
No.
10 jobs is like.
Yes, I count about 1,000 jobs in 10 minutes. Yes, this is the count.
Your request is about how many jobs?
I'm not with these guys.
So say for example, we run, I don't know, 10,000 jobs a day.
Let me take note.
Yes.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I mean, this is ballpark figures. My worry is doing it this way rather than the way we do it at the moment is going to affect CyberArk. And obviously the bank, everyone in the bank uses CyberArk. So in theory, trying to do this, we could bring CyberArk down.
I think just to add to that as well, if the CyberArk's not working at that time, because we're in the cloud with the CyberArk, then you've got a massive, you could have 10, 15, 30 minute delay. It's very, very difficult to work out at that point what was the delay. Secondly, are we not putting all our eggs in one basket here? If we're actually if we're going to use CyberArk for your main, we call it TWS, like we call it TWS 9, and it performs 30,000 jobs in a 24-hour period. And my password TWS 9 is going to CyberArk, and it's the same password, the same. If at one point your CyberArk, you cock it up, the password, you've just cocked everything up on your whole IWS platform just by it. So your single point of failure is there, and
Correct.
that is scary. That is so scary. Yeah. So we won't do that.
Okay.
Right.
If you have a number that you think that could be a good question, I can try to put in my performance environment, because we started 2 weeks ago to start to check the real performance of this, because we had the 1 month ago. So for now, I have to count, because this is the test that we started last week. That about this job stream.
I think that is a perfect way. We can test really what our customers are doing.
Yes, because if the problem would be the delay, or the continue asking to CyberArk, and it could be a single point of failure, could be a problem. I ask also to other colleagues that develop this integration to understand if there is some limit, or if we can improve this. Ernesto, if you can take then the number of how many job stream in the day or in 1 hour, I want
I
to run, I can
10,000 job per day, right? 10,000
for a day.
Yeah, my shop's about 40,000 a day.
40,000.
Yeah, but these guys are probably twice as big.
Yeah,
as me,
yeah.
so-
So at the moment, the way we've integrated CyberArk, because we asked for this a few years ago, is CyberArk pushes the password to TWS. So we've got scripts on TWS using a bit in CyberArk called CPM. So if a password changes, it pushes it to TWS that way. Yeah.
Okay, so in the CyberArk's doing that as it changes?
Yes,
So it's not
yeah.
constantly doing its
Yeah,
job,
yeah.
it's just as it needs to get up there.
Okay, because the next the enhancement that we did in 10.4 is that this voice provider is automatically available in the master or in the agent in the integration folder. That's a very good point that I wrote on my, so I can ask to my colleagues how we can check this. But I can test about 10,000 jobs for a day, because now it's about 100, because it's 15 jobs and 25 jobs. It's not so much. I'll increase the schedule, because, for example, this environment's running about 400,500 jobs for a day on a Postgres database. That is a new feature that we added in 10.3, because we added also Postgres in our database that we can use after DB2, Oracle, and MySQL. So now also Postgres is available. We are testing in our performance environment. It's running like Oracle, like DB2, about 500,000 for jobs per day. If for now CyberArk is okay, I can try to show the part of nesting. That is the new job stream plugin that run a summit of another job stream. And for example, I created this. I can check from this. So we have a job that its name started, and after the start there is two jobs that are named start big data or start sync something, and this job are of job stream submission type. From here you can select and check the nested jobs, so you can check the next and check that it's running. Big data 1, 2, or 3. I'll show before this is 0 priority, so we never start. After that, we start a come back to check the status of this other job stream. Sorry, job. Also here, you can check always the overhead structure and the next job. Now we have to wait that this go searches. You have to wait. I did some simulation to try understand if there is something go wrong, and after you can recheck here. Now this is starting, so I can check. No more. I put a very long sleep. Okay. These have another 3 sync. They wait something. we can check also this as another job inside. So in this way, you can create a different workflow without external dependencies or add similar, and you can check the entire flow on only one job stream. I think that also this is helpful to manage different kind of stream. I don't know, it's a little late. I can show the no operation part after trying to show the new part on the new workload designer. So I can submit this.
Before to show you this operation, there is one question.
Yes.
I wanted to ask the audience kind of the whole feature around nested job streams.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think of it? Is this something that's applicable to you in your organizations? Because I think it's a great feature.
Okay.
The start of something that will evolve into hopefully something that's going to give us greater intelligence with folders as well. So being able to control not just a bunch of job streams, but a bunch of nested job streams.
Yes.
At a folder level.
Yeah, show the the graphical view for next job. Can we show
Okay,
it
sure. Yes.
so they can better see?
Yes, yes.
So this is a workflow enhancement. So being able to nest job streams, as well as do things like conditional dependencies and all those sorts of things, you can start building logic and real workflow into IWS.
Yes, because here you can see only the job. There is not the dependency. You have to know that there is a submit job plugin that this submit other. It's a simple way to that complex flow with for job.
You have to set up folders before you start using nested job streams.
No, you don't.
Ah.
But it's a good idea to do it.
No, they can be at the root, just like you use it today.
Yeah.
Just,
Okay.
you just can nest job streams now.
So we don't do line of business, we don't do folders, yeah. So I don't know if anybody else uses folders in their organization. It was a big thing about 5 years ago, 10 years ago, whatever, from a customer. But I've never seen, I mean, we're so far down the track, yeah, of to bring everything back into, it's great if you're in your organization, you go, this is the HR, this is the stock system, this is the order system, this is, I get the line of business, I get the approach, but after 20 years of using IWS, it's like to look at our job streams would be like looking at a spider's web, a three-dimensional spider's web, yeah, and to pick it out is really difficult. So I kind of get I don't know, I'd have to look more into this. I certainly wouldn't be doing folders because we're too beyond folded. So unless you had something to say, that would be good, a feature to say, this new feature, we could put your business back into folders and with certain criteria, and he does it for you. But to do it, I don't think there's that feature, is there?
No, not yet. But I mean, you were talking about this is the start of a journey with nested job streams. There's going to be
Correct.
future enhancements in 10.2.5, whatever. Could you talk about what those additional features are going to be? Have they been defined? Yeah.
Yeah. We have. Ale, I just take one moment to the screen.
Yes.
So one of the, like, most customers like you know, because folders truly are fairly recent, you know, addition. So most customers like you they're still running at the root. But customers that do adopt them, usually it's new applications, new things like that, new groups coming on.
I get the idea, and it's a good idea, but once you're like 10, 20 years down the line,
Oh, yeah.
and to
it's
unpick
tough.
the spider, the three-dimensional spider's
Go
web,
backwards.
to go
or
backwards.
Change everything.
yeah, nobody has the
The bandwidth.
Yes. we call it bandwidth for now, yeah.
Yeah.
To actually go back to that standard, you know, and because it's too complicated.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Most customers that today that are starting to implement are usually doing new apps, new things like that, if they can. Existing, they're not seeing the benefit. They're new. Our new group's coming on. You know.
Well, customers are converting from other products.
Yeah, our customers converting from other products. So that's, that gives them a chance